No more pressure!
Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Spontaneous. Thank you. Welcome, as I said, to BolandLive. What a show. What do we have ahead of you? And I want you to be impressed. We have all the way in from London, live, just flown in. Miss Nina Miskoff is here today with us. Right, what about that? We have Reg Presley from the Trogs, who is somewhere out on the beach with Mitch, and we're going to go live to him. Reg Presley. We have the international dancers, and they're from, he certainly arrived just from London. I want you to give her a warm welcome on BolandLive. Nina Miskoff, what about that? Come on. Nina, you're very welcome.
I'm delighted to be here. London is so bloody cold at the moment. It's disgusting.
It is nice, and I've said this before to guests, to come down to do a TV show down in a nice warm climate, sample the fun and the warmth, and then have to go back to the misery of the cold.
I know, it is dreadful at the moment. Anybody here, it's awful. Don't even bother.
Well, I've got to admit something. Before we start, I've got to admit something. When I heard that Nina Miskoff was coming down, did I say it right? Miskoff?
I usually say Mishkoff.
Mishkoff. Can we all try it together? Nina Mishkoff. Mishkoff.
Can I tell you the one I don't want? I don't want Miss Cow, please. No Miss Cow. We've had enough of that.
No, we're coming. Mr. Andy Taylor from Duran Duran. There you are, Andy. Look, good-looking sod that you are. Andy, tell us, not in the band anymore, but people do leave bands and keep a good relationship with the band. But in your case, I can detect, now I might be wrong, but I can detect a little...
smidgen.
A smidging, and we'll get to smidging because I love a little bit of gossip, and we'll get to the smidging now in a second. But I want to know about the sex, drugs and rock and roll, because possibly we've never really met, except the other night was the first time we met, and Andy doesn't know that I'm on the threshold at this moment of my career of the big time. And it is nice to know what it... No, let's be serious. On the threshold of fame and fortune, and it is nice to know, I want to ask a few personal questions, what it's like when you have that fame. For example, about girls. Now, you must be able... I'm only a married man, I only want to know. But about girls, I don't know if you saw the other day, but poor, what's his name from EastEnders? He was here. You see him there? Just getting back to...
He works for all the stars, though.
Oh, he does. It does. In fact, last week's show, we had the bodyguard to all the stars here on the show, looked after Madonna and people like that. But just getting back to the... I just want to speak about this mega stardom for a second, because one likes to be prepared, and I just want to know, let's get back to the girls. Did you find it very... I mean, you're not a bad-looking... We're not bad-looking, either of us, you've got to admit. Did you find it easier to... I mean, were girls throwing...
Was it easy to score chicks? Is that the question?
Is that what I'm trying to get to? Yes. Yes.
So what's that, like the Pope Catholic? I mean,
listen, let me just tell you, see, live television, this is what it can do. Live television just now, the old battery one. We don't normally admit these things. For those of you who didn't hear me clearly at home, we have Faith Brown. We give her a round of applause. We have...
Wonderful, darling. I can't wait to, I want to get into the sun and just relax, darling. I've got my toy boy with me, darling. It's wonderful. He's just like you, darling. Look at you with that lovely head. You look like Peter Stringfellow's brother, darling. You doesn't he, darling?
Well, welcome to the Faith Brown Show. Actually, we had dinner last night, and I must say, all the time, Faith, I mean, being a female, or a male, it doesn't mean an impressionist, you must feel almost, you just slip in and out of character the whole time. We were having dinner last night, I didn't know whether I was having dinner with Zaza Gabor, Cilla Black. I mean, the Cilla Black thing just broke up. We were all having, so imagine you have chicken or whatever in your mouth, and she breaks into this Cilla Black thing. You've met Mel, have you? Sorry, have you said hello to Mel?
Well, hello, Chuck. You're like, doesn't he look like our Bobby? Oh, God, you do. But you've got...
That's better, Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cynthia Lennon, what about that?
You know, even though he's
For
not
me,
here
I
with
mean,
us.
it's not because you're here. No, honestly, I'm going to say it's not because you're here and poor John isn't with us anymore. But to me, he was the musical talent. I mean, together as a group, they would need it to be together as a
Well,
group.
he was the leader, I suppose.
But
The
Paul thought he was
unnamed-
the leader.
No, but nobody really said who was the boss or who was the leader. But I think John, being the character that he was the leader without anybody
But,
saying.
it's also well recorded that John and Paul later on, and not too long after we're talking now, began to have ego problems. Did John ever come back to you and say, that little upstart, who does he think he is?
Never, no. Because you'd love that if he
No, I'm
had.
just waiting for a little quote.
No,
we have the
didn't. I haven't
courier
got-
for Sky
Sorry,
News
I
at the door.
Sorry, I haven't got any quotes.
No, okay, no, we'll get to them in a moment.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
No, you see the unit that they had, they were so close, they were like brothers, the four of them.
Well, Linda.
Hello.
Now you, as I said before we even start, you are the first guest that I ever had back on my show, and I'm much too tall for you here. Oops. Now that's a little better. But let me tell you.
Well, I'm thrilled with that, by the way. I heard you saying that in the, you know, the trailer bits and all, and I'm delighted.
Well, you
to be
wrote it here.
again.
You said, please say that.
Please say
I'm
yes,
the
and
first-
I'll give you the $5 later.
But funny enough, when you were my original guest, or one of my original guests on the show, it nearly didn't happen. Do you remember?
Because when I arrived, he
Oh,
said to
she
me,
does.
oh, we arrive, right? We find out the night before in England that we're asked to come over to Marbella. We're delighted to come and do Maurice's show.
Yes, delighted to come to
Shut
my-
up, Maurice.
Oh.
We're delighted. And we get there, we're invited to Maurice and Wendy, his lovely wife, invited to dinner. I get out of the car and he goes, oh my God, I thought it was the other one. I swear on my mother's life. He said to me,
And she didn't want to do the show. I didn't know this was going on. She said he didn't want to
and
do
I
the show.
said, well, if he wants the other one, let him get the other one.
How's
Then I'll just
Maureen
go home.
anyway?
And then last night we go out to dinner, and all he talks about is my sister Maureen.
Maureen?
Go, you're all beautiful, he says, but you know the one with the dark hair? The very pretty one. I said, what are you trying
No,
to
I
tell
didn't say
me?
the very pretty one.
You didn't actually, you said the beautiful one.
No, I said you're all beautiful.
No, you said the beautiful
Well,
one.
I think they're all beautiful, the Nolans, aren't they? Absolutely lovely. Wow. And you're probably the most beautiful Nolan of all.
And you're the biggest creep, but I love you.
Oh. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wayne Sleep. Give him a round of applause. Oh! Hey, welcome.
Get off!
Oh, right, okay.
God,
Oh, I can't clean up.
I didn't think I should have you on my show. Yes. Right, go on then, talk. Because apparently that's all he does all the time. He can't get a word in edgeways.
Hey! Well, here he is, Mr. Motivator. Give him a round of applause. You're very welcome on the show. Tell me, I wanted to ask you something. As a child, as a youngster, were you teased at being your family name? No, I've often wondered. Was it? What was? A little bit back. You haven't always had superstardom. Not like Mr. Lynch. You haven't had it all your life, have you? It's been pretty new for you to this new.
The thing is, it's 2 years ago.
I want
that
to learn about it.
It's 2 years ago things happened. I mean, it was 23rd of August 2 years ago, and I merely went on to stand in for the young lady who used to regularly do the exercise, and that was it. And after that, the people liked me and phoned in and said, let's have more.
But what? This hasn't happened to me. No one's phoned in and said, let's
Well,
have
maybe
more. In
you
fact,
don't-
they said, pull the show.
Well, maybe you ought to dress the way I dress. I could just see you in some stretch pants, very stretch pants.
Everyone could tell I was Jewish then.
You know, you
No.
can get away with that kind of comment this time of day.
What?
We can't get away with it first thing in the morning.
No?
No.
Oh no, I can get away with blue murder here. Someone in England once saw this show and I said, do you think it'll work in England? They said, no chance. I said, well, the audience, they said the audience would love it, but the people upstairs would die. So tell me, so